Hey everybody, I'm Matt Hill. I'm in the Trace Management podcast studio. My lovely sponsor who gives us this space, and I'm very fortunate to put this together for Oilfield Tailgate, the Talking Energy Show. Just I want to promote all the sponsors that pitch into Oilfield Tailgate. So that's why I started the Talking Energy Show, and I get to introduce my amazing friends who are in oil and gas and do all the things that you do for our industry. You're vital. And if people don't tell you that enough, thank you for keeping the lights on and making sure human flourishing happens. I'm going to go around the room and introduce yourself.
I'm Natalie Boggs, and I'm an oil and gas recruiter with Dalton Boggs and Associates. We focus all over the country and place everything from technical professionals to executives to accounting and land staff. So that's my business side of it, finding people for people.
Man, we need more people than ever before.
Always.
I'm glad you're doing it. Always. We've always needed people, and now you're more essential than you probably even care to think about.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, buddy.
All right, so I'm Christian Kaziris with OSCO Controls in Oklahoma City. We're a controls engineering firm that designs control panels for automation and manufacturing. The oil and gas side, we're involved with mostly equipment manufacturers. Only the best.
Only the best. And hey, electronics and automation. I mean, it's fascinating how our industry has just adopted so much or created technology that the whole world needs now.
That's definitely the way things are going, automation across the board.
Yeah.
So, and then for the symposium, I'm the continuing education chair.
Oh, go ahead.
Gary Cartwright. I'm a owner of HC Evaluations LLC. We work on reservoir evaluations of oil and gas properties, so value, whether it's for the small operator, for law firms, or whatever. That is what I've been doing. Additionally, I'm an independent investor in oil and gas projects. One of the things I invest with rocks exploration down in Norman, and also with Occam, which is another company headed up by a friend of mine, Tom Holmes. And so do some investing that way. And lastly, I'm a VP of engineering of Renovo Oil and Gas. And so just do a variety of things, but keeping my hand in the business and enjoying what I'm doing these days.
You're very well known and very well liked across our industry, by the way. Like, I was pretty stoked to hear you're coming in here. I'm a big fan.
Thank you.
Yeah, this guy's a leader, and everybody, is always, like, hey, you got to meet this guy. You were on my bucket list of bringing people in anyway.
That's very kind of you. Man.
That and anybody from Rocks too, by the way. One of them has their own little podcast.
Is that right? Check into that.
Yeah, maybe you might give him some more tips, because what you do is fascinating. I mean, it's amazing. Just reservoir engineering is very cool, and if and thank you. Companies don't have enough reservoir. I don't know. It's where everything starts, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm always, I want to know more about it. I need to have more podcasts about reservoir engineering. So you might just end up being like a regular guest in here and bringing your friends in who you think are astounding people.
Well, that would be exciting. I'd be looking forward to that.
I mean, I want you to promote everything you do, your company, and all the ways to get involved in oil and gas. How do you become an investor in oil and gas projects? There's a lot of people out there who, they see the energy fluctuations around the whole world right now, and they are going, hey, we probably need more energy than ever before. There's more and more people about to become energy starved. How can I get involved in oil and gas? They may not have the background or technical efficiencies to get involved as a worker, but they might have the monetary means to become a vital part of that process of going out to get something done. So that's fascinating. Well, we're all in here today to talk about the SPE Oklahoma City Oil and Gas Symposium coming
Excellent.
up.
That's exactly what that is.
Yeah, I got all the words
Mouthful,
right.
but you got it all.
Well,
It's
Gary,
our 50th year.
50 years.
Yes. It's
Man.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the first person that had to put that together? Do we even know who that is? Do we have a history of like the first
We need to
board?
research that.
We need to find out. Yeah, because I think this should
Been
leading.
around it longer, so.
A little bit longer than you, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't say what your actual role is. You
No,
got
I'm the treasurer for the symposium.
the money man.
Yeah.
Do we have enough money to make it really just an amazing symposium yet?
No,
Or I think we
when
should
oil
probably
gas
ask for
prices
more.
are up, it's always a good thing. So, and
We can ask for a bit more sponsors right here.
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We need
We
big
do.
wonderful sponsors to make these things happen.
We do. We've already got several that have signed up, and which is a great place to be this time. I know last time we ran this pre-COVID, we had maybe only a third of the sponsors we currently do. So we've started bringing some in, but there's plenty of room for some other folks, and always happy to have everybody join the bandwagon.
Now, as treasurer, you see all the money coming in. You're just treasurer for just the symposium, correct?
That is correct.
And all of the money that we collect, that we're all hustling everybody to pitch in, I mean, that all goes toward all of the program. I mean, we don't have, anything left over when we're done, really.
We don't. So some years we make money, some years we don't. It depends on the climate of the industry, as you might know. But everything is put to a good intended use. Yes,
Costs a lot.
Exhibitors who come in, sponsors who come in, they really help fund the presentation of the papers. So the papers, the other events, it's a good gathering of folks. But I learn a lot both from the papers I hear, and I learn even more sometimes from the exhibits and the exhibitors that show up, and with the new products that are out there, new techniques, and it's like I said, it's a good opportunity to have people come out and share their knowledge.
What are you excited about for this year with the symposium coming up? What all we have lined up?
I'm excited to get to see everybody again that comes in. We always get such a great crowd for it, and we haven't had it for a while, so that'll be fun. And then I'm in charge of the housing, and I'm very excited to be having it at the Omni.
Yeah.
It's going to be our first year to have it there. It's a great new facility. It's such a good upgrade. The hotel's attached, which always makes it nicer. Really pretty venue, and they've got a great restaurant bar there. So it's right by Scissortail Park. So for people coming in from out of town, it's a fun location, which will be nice. Or, if you're here and want to make a staycation of it at the conference.
I agree. We should make it a staycation for everyone.
I've done that several times when I've attended. So I think that'll be an exciting new piece of it with this new venue.
Yeah. What about you? What do you see? What do you want this to be for everyone?
Well, I'm pretty excited. I heard that maybe night fire suppression systems was going to get one of their skids and
Maybe.
put it down on the floor and just start hosing down the whole place with foam.
I am positive that Omni is not going to let me have a foam party inside that building, but maybe by the pool.
Ooh, I think we should, shoot for that.
There we go.
Might be warm enough in April.
That's fun.
So I'm continuing ed. I just want to put a big plug in for our courses. We're offering 5 continuing ed courses, and they're all excellent. I really encourage people to sign up. You can do it if you come to the symposium or not, but you get a discount. The first class is practical Python programming for engineers. We talk about Python and automation and machine learning. It's a great course taught by Derek and Catherine Turk. And then Dr. Rajan Choksi is going to teach a data analytics for artificial lift course, a one-day course. Dr. John Lee will be back, the legend, helped the SEC write the rules for reserves. Total legend. Dr. John Lee's teaching a basic pressure transient test analysis class. And then Dr. Anand Nagu is going to teach a multi-phase flow and horizontal wells one-day course. And then we're actually bringing in some folks from the University of Oklahoma, the Energy ESG Leadership Certificate Program, to teach a course about ESG as well. So I'm excited about the continuing ed. Like Gary, I'm excited about the technical program. The papers are really great this year. And then like Natalie, I'm excited to see everyone and go out on the expo floor, foam party or no foam party.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping no foam party. I'm hoping everybody, gets involved and wants to come and learn more about oil and gas. I mean, we don't, being involved in the SPE, you can be in drilling, you can be in completions, production. I mean, upstream, midstream, downstream. It's all encompassing. This conference is for everyone.
And it's multidisciplinary too. It'll be,
Yep.
Geologists, geophysicists, petrophysicists, drilling engineers, completions engineers, production.
Yeah, I'm always, trying to tout like, hey guys, if you're just in oil and gas, please come to all of our, besides just symposium, just start coming to all the SPE events and meetings. Start networking. See how there's so many ways to get involved and learn.
Yeah.
I mean, don't be focused on just your little bubble anymore and live in your silo and in your echo chamber. Break out, find out what's out there and available for you to enjoy. I mean, this is a career that just has no boundaries, really. I mean, there's no end to the way oil and gas is involved in everyone's life around the world.
Yeah. And you can never stop learning. I mean, and if you think you've learned everything, technology's constantly changing. So no matter your background, it's fun to get to hear what new things are going on.
Yeah. Do we have anybody bringing? Have you heard of anybody bringing something new to this conference?
One of the things that one of our exhibitors I've seen, drill to frac, that is something that needs to be emphasized a bit more. You capture data during the drilling operations, so it's mechanical properties that you start understanding of the rock. So what stress does it take to break the rock? How do I equate that to how to position my frac when I go to frac it? So it's good to see that new technology showing up. When I think back across my career, which is a long time, we didn't have any of that horizontal drilling. We sure didn't. And then when we first had horizontal drilling, we were not fracking it. It was just simple horizontal well. As that technology continues to evolve, as we start drilling more than one lateral out of a vertical section, or as we start doing even longer laterals than we have been, it's just fun to watch that and see what's out there. And the companies that come out to exhibit and show us their new technology, it is an eye-opening experience, no matter how many years experience you have.
I'm going to go off in the weeds for just a second. What do you think about the longer the lateral, the better, no matter what, or because you're already in the hole and it's just more cost effective to keep on drilling, or do you see like an end to what we're doing with that as a reservoir engineer?
Well, we'll get in the weeds a little bit. It's a risk return issue. Sometimes you lose a well because you're in it too long, and so it's up to the engineers, geologists, land to help understand that, management to understand what that risk is, and try to do a program that's appropriate for that risk. That's my perception of it.
That's a great answer. That's as political answer as you could possibly give, Gary. Good job. I'm proud of you for that. You should definitely hire him for all your reservoir engineering questions. He will tell you where the gold is, and that you go get it how you see fit. That's fun. What about reservoir engineering talks? Are you going to give one? I think you should probably,
I'm just going to be at the front door
collecting the money.
Collecting money. But,
You're there networking this time.
Yeah. If I had to be it's my opportunity to be a fly on the wall and look at things. And see what's
you don't have to be the boss that day.
No.
That's pretty good. That's good stuff. You bring people in, and I'm in that position now as well. Like it's so much fun for me to bring others into the fold now and try to help them in their careers. It's just been a blessing. Like I've been fortunate. How can I help this guy?
Recently, I was helping a landman or energy management class at OU learn a little bit more about oil and gas, and was taught by a friend of mine, Alan Stacy, and we were doing a little experiment on accelerants and retarders to use in cement when you cement a well. And the class is really about it's to help educate. I'm going to use my hands on me too.
You're good.
It's to help non-engineers, non-geologists understand a little bit more about the nomenclature that goes on in the business. And when you hear somebody's going to drop a plug, blowout preventers, it's to give them some of that insight. So on that particular topic, we're talking about cementing, and so we just came up with a little experiment to do right in front of the students to help them understand a little bit more what an accelerant does, what a retarder does in cementing operations.
Sugar.
Those will be some of the people that we invite to come down to the symposium, certainly on the last day. We did a large luncheon on the last day and really opened up for a lot of folks.
What are we having for lunch at this symposium? Everybody's going to ask. How good is the food going to be?
And Baker always does a great cook.
Yeah, that's what we all worry about. Like, if I'm going to spend the money to come down there and put a booth in, like, I love the networking, I love the classes, but really, I'm there for the food.
Well, and Omni is handling all the food because and everything I've had on Omni has been good. So
Yeah,
I don't think we'll be disappointed by the food this year.
I mean, I'm going to promote the Omni. Their sports bar is great. Their steakhouse is great. I mean, I've had great meals there so far. It's a great venue.
I have faith in the food this year.
Faith in the food.
Higher faith in the food.
For you, this ought to be like a blast to be at because every single person there is your potential, client.
Exactly. It's great. And I've, met candidates and companies we've placed for over the years and gotten to be friends with people that I've worked with after meeting them at the symposium. So it's kind of got the full encompassing of getting to know people.
What's sponsorship opportunities look like? Like, what's the cost? What are you,
Everything from
what's a booth cost?
yeah, maybe 1,000. I think a booth is, maybe Shad can come in here and chime in on that. I think she's got some paperwork she can study.
Yeah, she probably brought the
I want to say
paperwork.
it's about, for a big 20 by 20, 8 grand? 2,000 for a 10 by 10.
Yeah,
And the 20 by 20, which I know you're going to need the big booth.
Yeah, I
is,
am.
What'd you say, 8,000? Okay, so all sorts of things. 500 to 5,000. Anything on up, we have sponsorships available for everything. You can do the bottled water, you can have banners and logos or whatever.
and does it cost anything to walk in the door? Yeah, it's not free to walk in, but it's well worth
A
your.
lot of companies
money.
do corporate sponsorships.
Sure.
So the major EMPs here will just do a blanket sponsorship so all their employees can come,
Yep.
or whoever's free that day.
Yeah, please, Devon, Chesapeake, Continental, Ascent, Gulfport, Mock. I mean, on and on and on. Please get involved. Get all of your employees to come down there. Everybody wants to see all the engineers get involved and be part of this. We've really done a great job as an industry here in Oklahoma to have our people and come and take part in this. So, we know that the big operators are always very willing to make sure all their people come down.
And the last day, the Baker Hughes sponsors the lunch. Even if you're not attending the conference, you can come to lunch and check out the exhibit hall, which they always do a really good job of. So if you can't make the conference, even though you should, you can at least participate for that one afternoon. And everybody loves a free lunch in the industry.
I do. I'm looking for one after this. I figure you guys might feed me. Well, what about the way people get involved? How do they come into this and start being a sponsor or attend? Website?
Website's a great way to get involved. If you talk to anybody on the committee, we can put you in the right direction. Byron Cottingham has been handling all the sponsorship, and so he's a great person to talk to. Shad has all the information. She's chairing it this year, so she's got all that, and really anybody on the committee is happy to answer questions, but the website's a great place to go.
Yeah. What is the website?
SPE OKC OGS.
SP, is that it?
.org.
I'm going to put that in the link below. I can't even
So
repeat that.
SPE OKC
All right.
OGS.org.
I think we need the chair to officially come.
Yeah,
up here.
get in here,
We've
Shad.
been
Come on.
Keeping her hidden back there.
Some other ways to get there was check our LinkedIn sites. We'll have something posted out there.
We've done a really good job. We've brought our social media right to the top of everybody's feeds, I think.
That's, yeah. With a little help from some friends like you, you've gotten us where we need to be on.
Well, when I started coming to SPE, there was no social media, and it annoyed me because I couldn't find how to get to anything or where it was at. Hey, scoot real close to this microphone.
All right.
People want to see you, and wave at the camera, and then tell everybody who you are.
I'm Shad Turar. I work for Devon Energy in the Delaware business unit. And this year,
My co-sponsors.
I am the, that's nice. And this year, I'm the symposium chair.
Well, thank you for doing that. I mean, you just stepped right in and volunteered. You weren't even voluntold. You just volunteered. You're always like a leader, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's always rolling up her sleeves and getting involved somehow. It's impressive.
I appreciate that.
You're gonna be the mayor of the oil field someday.
Oh, gosh.
That's good for us. That's good for all of us here in town. Every time we see you, we all smile and go, "Thank goodness she's here taking care of us." Yeah, and remember the little people. Yeah, right. What are you excited about for the symposium? You've been spearheading this whole deal.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So many things. Like Gary mentioned earlier, it's going to be our 50th anniversary. And so we've added more events than ever. So, we used to have a panel discussion, a 3-hour long panel discussion. This year we decided to split it up into 2 panel discussions. One will be focused on mergers and acquisitions outlook.
Oh,
We're
that's
going to have,
interesting.
we're going to have executives from Devon Energy, Diamondback, ConocoPhillips, Guggenheim. So it's going to be a really great discussion. And then we also have a completions and technology innovation panel where we're going to have a lot of great executives from operators. I'll let Kyle talk a little bit more about that. He'll probably be coming later on. Let's see, we also added a Women's Energy Network event. So it's going to be co-hosted, which we've never done before within the symposium. It's going to be a breakfast. And we have one of the executives, Deb, from S&P Global. So it's going to be a really great discussion. What else am I excited for? Can you tell I'm excited for everything?
I know. That's why. Yeah, that's why you're in here. I knew
yeah,
you'd
that's
bring.
right.
I knew you'd bring the energy. Yeah.
Let's see. And then we're going to have 2 happy hours this year. We usually have an exhibit happy hour. So the happy hour is on the exhibit floor to where people are able to network with other industry professionals and take a deeper dive into all the exhibits, outside of the normal hours.
That's very important. I mean,
Yeah.
I've sat in my exhibits before, and you do spend a lot of money to be there, and you really, you've done a really good job at making sure that everybody's going to be walking through those exhibits. So if you're pitching in your money to be a sponsor and you have an exhibit there, I mean, you will get your time in front of customers.
That's right. Yeah, because all of our panels are hosted within the exhibit floor in the back area, and so we try to give as much exposure as possible to our exhibitors because the symposium wouldn't be possible without them. I mean, it just wouldn't function right. I mean, so we will have the exhibit happy hour. And one thing really cool we added is Mark LaCour with Oil and Gas Network. He hosts the Oil and Gas This Week podcast. He will be hosting a live podcast there.
I know. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's so good. So if you haven't watched
He's pretty
or listened
good.
to his podcast yet,
No, Matt,
Mark, you're all right. I mean, Mark, I'm competitive. I do have more followers.
you're both amazing. Yes, you're both amazing. So, yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great.
I'll probably sit in there with him a couple times. He'll
hope
probably
so.
beg me to come in there. But you know me, I'm going to have my microphone stuck in people's faces at their booths because I really want to.
And we love that.
I know
We
it's
love
fun.
that.
I like to get in there and find out, like, hey, vendor, why are you here? What do you got?
Right.
Show the world. Get a little commercial out there for yourself.
Yeah.
Put them on the spot. Make them feel comfortable with how amazing their product is. Like Reservoir Engineering. What do you use a lot of? Your vendors, are probably like software, right? You have to deep dive. What's your favorite right now that you're using when you go out?
I don't want to pick out any favorites, but there's several that I use. It's either software I use or it's data sources. So between those two, that's usually where Reservoir Engineer spends most of their time. Sometimes log analysis would be a third category. I don't want to pigeonhole myself too much as a Reservoir Engineer. I do
You should.
like other things, but anyway. And one thing we didn't mention, Shad, this is actually her second time to chair this almost back to back. The COVID did not take off.
Yeah.
So it was going well, but we elected not to do that. But the one that Shad did before, that was very excellent. And new venue, new locations, lots of new groups we're bringing into it. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't going to let her leave that position.
no such luck.
It's fun. And it's easy whenever you have such wonderful committee members that are doing great work. They make being chair very easy.
And hey, by the way, if everybody doesn't know the little tricks on LinkedIn, I'll teach you some stuff right here, right now. When you go to the SPE LinkedIn page and you go to the events, well, you can click on attend the SPE, Oklahoma City Symposium. And once you click attend, you can start inviting all of your own contacts. It's really simple. So please help us spread the word. And the fun thing is you can filter it. So you can go just to Oklahoma City or just to oil and gas. And then you can scroll down all the way to the bottom of your friends. And you can click one button and click all of them at once. You can invite 1,000 people per week to an event that you like. That's pretty neat. We can spread the word really quickly amongst our industry connections on, hey, this is something that we feel is important that you attend or sponsor, and please help us out by, everybody can do that, not just the, people in charge of the event.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a trick for you guys.
Maybe we can link all of the pages, the appropriate pages, like our website and our LinkedIn page, all in the notes of this.
We will, yeah. I'll have all of that stuff right below this post when I hopefully get this out on Monday. We'll see everybody. You never know.
It's the holiday season. Things get busy.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, I might be running to Midland with a fire suppression system on Monday. I never know. Yeah, I hope you didn't hear him earlier. He was trying to get me to make a foam party at the pool at the Omni.
I did hear that.
Have you ever been to a foam party?
I have not.
Me neither. Okay.
I don't know if we want to make the symposium the first one, but
I just want everybody to know that everything we do in fire suppression, all those ingredients in our fire foam are made from oil and gas, and it's always fascinating that I was fortunate. You guys might follow J.P. Warren. He has the Connection crew and he does the kids crew. So he brought everyone together at the Science Museum that has a great exhibit there, and everybody got to like teach a little bit of STEM, science experiments to children. And so it was fun to teach them, like, well, if a fire occurs, and they wouldn't let me, of course, start a fire in the Science Museum, but I got to do a little bit of, water, things. And I was like, this fire foam is made possible by oil and gas products. All the ingredients in this, so I can put out an oil and gas fire with oil and gas. That just blows, it still blows me away.
Yeah.
Everything we do. So thank goodness we're all together doing, this work. And this is symposium vital to our industry to keep getting people together and showing new technologies, new data, new ways to do our work, or just continuing education in what we've done, forever that just works, right?
That's right. Yeah. Very critical. Yeah.
What are you doing in Devon right now that you love and you're excited about?
Oh my gosh.
They keep moving you up. They're grooming you to be the boss.
No, I love it all. I actually was in business development working on mergers and acquisitions for 3 years. And so I moved back into a business unit around July of this year, and it's just been incredible. The Delaware is an outstanding basin. It's the gift that keeps on giving with every single zone that we appraise and develop. And so, it's very exciting looking at the subsurface and coming up with the development plans.
Well, everyone's a big fan of Devon. I mean, really, I can't think of an operator here we're not a fan of, and all the people, and all the buildings. But it's neat to see how well we all mingle.
Yeah.
What about where'd you grow up?
Here, I'm Oklahoma raised. We actually have family that came up from the land run, so we've been here a while. A lot of oil in the family.
Somehow you just feel homey when I'm near you. Maybe it's those. Yeah, I know. I wish you could see
shoes, yeah.
the Christmas
I'm not sure
shoes.
I want to do a leg kick that high. Let's see.
Oh, wow.
So fun, yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, see, this got to be a fun show. We want people to tune back in next time and have you guys in over and over again. You are a welcome guest anytime you like.
Thank you.
All the stuff you're doing is fascinating. You, Shad, I'm questionable on.
I don't blame you.
Our website designer is here in the room, and I wonder if he might like to.
Yeah,
come
please.
up here and
Yeah,
speak a little bit
I
about
want
what
everybody.
these know.
Sales.
If you show up, I want to. Hey, Gary, God bless you.
Thank you.
Come back in anytime. I just sit here and I just mind my own business. Come scoot over close to me.
Musical chairs.
Look how good you look, man. You are sharp looking today. Scoot way up.
Stay hidden, but
And Gary's very safe. He has no COVID. You can talk right in that microphone. I don't have to wipe it down. Nothing. Yeah. Now everybody can have a whiskey in the background if they like and watch this shenanigans go on.
Very nice.
I always make everybody introduce themselves and what you're up to right now.
Yep. So my name is TJ Pohl. I'm a reservoir engineer with Devon Energy. I do more on the finance side. I'm the only reservoir engineer under finance. So everybody looks at me as like, are you really a reservoir engineer? But I get the fun job of telling people how much money they have every year. So
That's good.
So I just have to have a good personality, else they won't answer my phone call.
And he does an incredible job.
Yeah, you would have to if you're in charge of any kind of money over there. They're
All in line.
Yep. It's been very fun.
What's your background? Where'd you grow up?
So I actually grew up in Trinidad and Tobago. So,
Beautiful,
yep.
beautiful place.
I went to the greatest college in the United States, Texas A&M University. And then I somehow stumbled along to...
Oh, we'll pray for you on that. You believe
I know,
that.
yeah.
No comment.
Needs all the prayers.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
We'll shake that out of you here.
it's enough Texas and Oklahoma.
I'll tell you what. I have a tailgate party every home game in Norman, and we accept everybody.
All times.
You're welcome to come in, wear whatever colors you like. It's it's really just an excuse to have all my friends hang out. We don't really even care if there's a football game going on in
Nice.
town. Yeah,
Nice.
we're just like, hey, let's get together and celebrate what you do.
That's right. The maroon kind of blends in with the crimson. So
Right.
I could get by.
It's funny. Trinidad, there's a lot of oil and gas activity down there. Did you know about oil and gas when you grew up?
Yep. So my dad was a geophysicist.
Wow.
And he worked for BP for a long time, and I got to travel a little bit with him, lived in London for a while, did some stuff, and I didn't really like rocks as much, so I kind of focused more on the engineering side and kind of stumbled along. I knew that's what I wanted to do, to kind of travel and do all that stuff too. So yep, I was heavily involved in that intranet as well.
Man, thank you for doing that. And then she drug you into being part of the
She kind of did.
she
I don't even know how it happened.
You have to recruit good talent.
voluntelling is her, forte.
Yeah, so this is the second time around we've been doing this one,
And what's your position on the SPE side of things?
So I'm only focused on the symposium,
Yep.
and I just do the media and the website. So anything that has to do with the website, like doing the online store, getting any kind of media together, that's kind of my forte.
Thank you for doing that. It's a lot. I know because I do a lot of social media and a lot of, all the internet of things. So what you're doing, we can't have this without you.
Appreciate that.
I mean, it's tough. Is it easy for people right now to get online now and get signed up?
It
Is
is.
everything ready to go?
It's ready to go. We've actually had some people come online and buy some sponsorships and buy some booths. So if you're ready to buy a booth, you could go on there and buy it right now. And you can actually purchase tickets for training as well as to go on the conference floor.
Yeah, and hey, anyone watching, by the way, if there's a sponsorship that, we haven't thought of that we could add to this to make it better to where you can be involved, let us know. Please comment, please email everybody in this room. We don't want to miss out on anybody wanting to be part of this. There's always stuff they're like, oh man, we could have had a ride share sponsor, whatever it is. We don't want to miss out on any opportunity for, this industry to get together. We don't want just people in Oklahoma City. We want, the entire globe, to come in, fly in, enjoy our city. We are proud of what we do and proud of our industry and definitely proud of this symposium.
Yeah, we have the Monday night reception, which is a welcome reception for all of our guests out of town or from Oklahoma. And it's a great way to get together and just, have a drink and some appetizers and get ready for the symposium the next day. It's at the Petroleum Club. Phil Owens plans it, and it's a wonderful event every single year.
I love Phil.
Yep.
He's been in here a couple times because
Amazing. He's so
he is.
good. Yes, yeah,
He is
yeah.
so he does so many events. I'm like, you're somebody to aspire to. I always have. Like I'm
know. How'd you
chasing
keep
his
up?
coattails. It's like I have FOMO, so I'm obviously like, Phil, if you have anything going on, I want to be part of it. Right?
That's good.
Have you guys done the pairing, the liquor pairing?
Oh,
with the
absolutely.
Steakhouse. It's
Yeah,
amazing. So the last one they did Rome, and it was actually really good. So I won't miss the next one.
Well, there's another way to get involved. If you haven't signed up yet and all you're going to do is attend, do us a favor, buy yourself a ticket and buy one more person a ticket. Put it on your company's card. They won't notice.
It's a networking event then.
It oils up right now, right? Anybody have any predictions of what oil will be by the, in 1 month from now, the last day of December, what will be at, and then what do you think it'll be at next year, last day of December? Come on, throw one out there.
So if you're asking a reservoir engineer,
Yes,
it's
that's-
always
of
gonna
course
be
I would
very
be.
pessimistic,
Yep,
right?
that's
So,
right.
so everything's in the
And why is that? Because I do have lots of friends that are reservoir engineers. Why do you guys lean toward, no, it's going to be way down?
well, it's
Is it so you can go out and buy cheap reservoirs from other people?
that helps, but it's
You're
always
throwing out false information.
But it's always easy to temper the expectations. I mean, you are the counterbalance to geologists.
Okay.
Who are always optimistic, and we want optimistic geologists, right? So we're always that counterbalance, and we always want to make sure that we have goals that we can actually hit as well too. So not to overstep ourselves.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Training
$100.
Once again, I throw out a question that both you reservoir engineers, like he gives me a grayish, answer that like, that's not an answer. That's a great answer, but it's not an answer. And yours is the same. Good. What's up, buddy? Introduce yourself to everybody.
Kyle Hosfite.
Kyle, you better come in here and eat that microphone too.
Kyle Hosfite. I manage the Devon Energy Ventures team. So we're looking at venture capital investments along with new energy investments, decarb, new energy sources that align with our skill sets.
It's pretty amazing what's going on in our industry now. That is something that all the investors are, kind of requiring, in their bucket list of like, hey, if I'm going to invest in a company, I want somebody who's going to protect our resources and value our, this is for everyone.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's a nice duo to have those two buckets because a lot of the innovation is coming through startups. So we get exposure to that on the venture capital side, and we learn how to apply it to the bigger picture. Physical investments like carbon capture, utilization, sequestration, and geothermal and blue hydrogen. Those things have real potential, but there's some technological breakthroughs that need to occur to make them competitive.
Yeah, we, and I just finished Alex Epstein's newest book. I got to meet him in person finally the other day, but
You look like a kid on Christmas morning.
I was so excited.
Too.
I don't think I've ever fanboyed out before, and he definitely ribbed me for it. He's like, you just went all out, didn't you? I was like, I got giddy.
You have to, yeah.
It's fun to find people outside of our industry that actually, believe in us and what we do.
Think about things logically, like the fossil future, right? It's all of the above. We talk about the transition, but I always encourage people to go look at the last 200 years of energy consumption and tell me which energy source has ever been phased out, including wood. Zero. They're all up and to the right. As we grow and consume more energy that allows for prosperity, we need to add to that, including oil and gas.
But we haven't had a chance because, there's a lot of, political ups and downs or, phones coming on. The, Alex talked about in his book, but for the most part, a lot of technologies and energies we haven't spent a lot of time on yet. We don't have those, processes to bring them up to where we can use them as an energy source as efficiently as we know how to use oil and gas. Not saying it won't happen, but what you're doing is fascinating. The fact that, okay, well, now we are giving the time and the resources into the R&D to see if this is a viable future for energy.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't see how we achieve a lower carbon future without oil and gas being at the center of it. So much of it requires wells to be drilled, whether you're sequestering CO2 or you're extracting lower carbon natural gas solutions. You need the expertise that oil and gas has, from subsurface characterization to the execution of drilling and completing wells.
And for me, I've always felt that we're the most, the best stewards for our resources. We know financially that any waste whatsoever is, financially that's, not where we want to be as an industry ever. So protecting our environment just goes hand in hand with protecting our finances. Why would we want to let methane escape when we know that that's a product that we could capture and utilize? So, we're ESG before there was ESG.
Absolutely. Yeah, you look at the methane abatement cost curves, and there's a bunch of them that sit on the bottom left that are negative. They add value to our companies by capturing the product that we're spending millions of dollars of capital to go produce.
And when we go and produce these wells, we're still only capturing, 10% probably of the resources downhole?
Liquid-wise, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's where another area where we're all focused on, like, hey, investors, if you're pitching in money right now, if you want to be part of Devon or Continental or, whatever opportunities out there, rocks, there's ample opportunity to invest in technologies that will bring up more of those resources where we don't have to drill more wells and we can capture more, carbon if that's what you're after.
Absolutely. And these ideas and investment opportunities are not mutually exclusive.
Nope.
The U in CCUS, one of the main uses is EOR. Let's capture the CO2, whether it's from a super emitter or other opportunities, put it downhole, swell the oil, and produce more resource with the same footprint we've already established in pre-existing wells.
Well, globally, I've never seen a more scary time, that people want to shut down, their best energy resource. And America is, USA is poised to, deliver liberty-giving, energy that, other people don't want anyone to have. So this is why I think this symposium is so vital. Please, be part of it just so we can network and continue our, education. Bringing young people in. You are recruiting now, and you see how hard it is to get people wanting to be involved. Because even my own son, I remember not too long ago, he's seen all this stuff that I do, and I've talked to him about oil and gas. He goes, "Do you really think oil and gas will be around? Why should I get involved?" I mean, it's terrifying that even our own children, and from this room, they've been told by enough people where they question that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it's on us, and Alex does a nice job of helping educate us on how to educate others.
Yeah.
Right.
We enable the transition. And the transition is not even the right word, it's the addition. That's what our
Addition.
CEO is
I like
talking
that.
about.
The addition.
There will be new energy sources, and we should support them and try to enable them. It doesn't mean that if we add another energy source, that oil and gas is going to go away. Consumption has gone up and to the right since we started consuming energy, and it's going to keep going that way.
Yeah.
A lot of developing countries that need affordable, reliable energy to prosper.
It's right here in our own backyard. I mean, we have, thousands of homeless and needy. I was at the Wolfwood Christian Fellowship meeting yesterday, and the program director and leader of that city rescue mission, she gave her man, I get choked up thinking about it, but she gave her presentation on what they do there, and all the people in Oklahoma City that are just left behind because of, simple things like, if we don't produce this energy, there's people that don't have affordable energy and they're left in the dust. They're left in the street. It's I can pay my electricity bill, or I can pay my rent, and they don't want to have their children burdened by being freezing cold in their house, so they'll pay their electricity bill and they get evicted and they're on the street. Yep. I mean, it all is so tied together. Absolutely. So I honestly just think that everybody in this room is part of something that just it has to be. It's hero time in our industry.
Thankfully, we're behind in the right ways relative to Europe. We don't have to make all of the same mistakes that they're making and have made. I think we can see what happens when you try to force a transition too quickly, or an addition too quickly. Countries that probably shouldn't be installing large amounts of solar installed large amounts of solar, and they decommissioned base load reliable energy sources to do that. Yep. And once they were cut off from Russia gas, you saw what happened to even the wealthy, the upper middle class. They started to have to make those either or decisions, rent or electricity. Or maybe it's not as extreme as that. Maybe it's eat out or go on that vacation or pay electricity. And now you start to see the impact it has to the broader economy when you start removing those dollars from other segments.
Yeah, none of that has to be either. That's what rubs me raw on all of this is we can go out right now. We have the ability, all of us, to go drill more wells. We have the ability to produce them. We have the ability to build pipelines. We can start building all the facilities here in the United States to get our energy out to not only ourselves but other countries who need it without all this stuff. And there's politicians that are probably do know better, but it's more of a power grab and a money shift than it really is like they believe in something different. It's hard for me to really think that they don't know that oil and gas is probably the best way to keep us running. So I get really irritated, and probably not allowed in Washington. Might spread gravel with them. But anyway, let's get back to the symposium. Shad, I want you to finish this out. Please tell us anything we might forget.
Okay, I guess one
When is it?
It's April. Let's see. April 17th to 21st is the entire duration of the symposium, including our welcome reception and our technical courses that happen on the Thursday and Friday after the symposium. Something to mention, like based on this conversation that we're having right now, our keynote luncheon speaker is Scott Tinker, a really big energy advocate. He actually has a really good TED Talk on the dual challenge, energy and environment, just like we're talking about right now. He also has a documentary called Switch, and he has Energy Switch, which is a show on PBS. Really great for all of us to get educated on those types of like documentaries, and he's just a really great energy advocate, similar to Alex. And so we're really excited to have him, and if you're passionate about this type of conversation and energy independence and low affordable energy for all, then you should definitely attend the keynote luncheon, which is happening on that Tuesday, I think the April 18th.
Man, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Thank each and every one of you for what you do. Thank you for coming in here. You guys are always wanted, welcome, and needed. Needed in here. So come back, be my co-host anytime. We'll talk about this more.
Let's do it.
Take care. God bless everybody.
Bye-bye.